I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now starting. Welcome to the... I have to tell you.
Sure.
I'm a little bit nervous.
Why would you be nervous?
I don't know.
I'm nervous.
No. Why?
Because I've been critical of you.
Yes!
Yeah, and I'm actually very thankful you had me on. It shows a lot about you to, like, come on. Like, you know, in my mind, like, I'm playing with everybody. Like the dog. Like, I'm playing with the show. Comes in with the ball. You know? Like, I'm making fun in a way, like, the show is the show. The show is a petri dish.
Yes.
I go, okay, what's going on in the petri dish? Like,
Yeah,
I don't understand
explore.
when, like, outside things get in. I'm just like, and, like, I'm sure you get this, too, where people are, like, they have to come up to you and tell you how much they hate the show.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, of course.
In this passionate way where I go, I don't care.
Right.
I don't work for the show.
Right.
I do a different thing. I like yelling at it, making fun of it.
Yes.
The story arc of the show works for me. And also, I'm so adjacent to the Bachelor world.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot yelling from his apartment.
You're also a comedian, and I feel like it's kind of a bit.
Well, everything's a bit. Like,
Yeah.
like I think, like, for me, the Bachelor universe offers, like, an opportunity for me to talk, to make fun of things that, like, why are you here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so we're the same age.
Yes.
So, like, and I came into the Bachelor universe, I think, right after you had your story arc of sorts.
Yes.
Like, it was right... Dancing with the Stars, you did 2020, but it was before that you were the Bachelorette and you were on the season. I think all your stuff had happened before I had got... Ben Higgins was after you.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so you came after my season.
Right, so I don't have a relationship with you. My only relationship with you is as Bachelor commentator.
Got it.
In a certain way.
Yes.
And so I get these, like, stories from, like, probably a publicist.
Yeah.
That's put out from a publicist. It's a little snippets from this show.
Yeah.
And some of it, like, I roll. Like, when you come on and say, all the former Bachelorettes are like, good luck, Charity, good luck, Charity. And you go, I'm the washed up Bachelorette here. And I go, Kaitlyn, you own a wine company. You're a millionaire. Like, old Kaitlyn, back again. I roll that. To me, I'm like... You're hot. You're like a businesswoman. Like, you've done really well. Like, I don't think you need to do that.
I don't need to, but let me tell you, if I came on the other way, well, I guess I wouldn't be like, I am the business owner. But I always, don't you do the same thing where you kind of have to, like, just kick yourself a little bit, like, or humble yourself a little bit? Like, I feel like people are already going to say that, so I kind of get in on the joke.
Right. I trust the audience. Like, to me, anyone who needs that is an idiot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we have to live in a world where there are idiots that respond to us too. As much as there's...
I actually like when idiots respond to
Why?
me too. Well, because that means I'm doing something right.
Right. I guess if you're not making noise, you're not making... If you're not angering or... Well, that's the... Again, this is the stuff that kind of, like, I know you're doing. I know what you're doing, Kaitlyn.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
I know what you're doing. Yes, you do. You're smart. You're smart enough to know that I'm the washed up Bachelorette is connecting you to someone on their couch going, me too, glass of wine.
No, you know
and then you have branding in the back of yours. No one else had branding but you. You're a businesswoman. You crush it. But and the thing is, you never come out with, like, we live in the follower economy.
Yeah.
We do. We admit to that. The more people that listen to this, the more people that use the promo code, the more people, eyeballs. I don't think we want to be in the follower economy. Like, I don't think, like, that was our goal, but that's just the way it ended up. You know, there's a reason, like, all these SNL people aren't on podcasts all the time. They don't have to.
They don't have to.
So
they don't have to.
They have
That's like my 5-year plan to be able to be like, I'm not doing podcasts anymore.
Right. Like, I like doing a podcast, but, like, you also go, you know, I've been critical of you, but not in a way where I'm like, I don't not like you.
I wouldn't have you on if I thought you just hated me.
That's never the case.
I get being critical, and I especially get in your world. I think I get more bothered when women talk negatively about me, and I don't know why that is.
Right. Well, sometimes, you know, I guess women go after, like, you know, a lot of times they go after, like, you know, in the way that people come after me, they know where to get me. You know, they would go like, oh, like, if they've heard me talk about body stuff, they'll go, well, you're just a fat fuck, unfunny loser. And unfunny, you know, like, got me.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, if you go on podcasts, and I think women, in a way, like your own, know how to get you more than anyone else.
Yeah.
There's an envy that I have, you know, like, because I do think, like, the best way to go about being a former Bachelor contestant, in my opinion, and please
I would
disagree.
love your opinion.
My opinion on that is the best way is to just have no opinion at all. Like to always go with the flow of the internet. If you're never disagreeing with the internet, you're always kind of right. The internet's always going to take the right opinion.
Yeah.
So if you take a nuanced take, which podcasts are kind of made for, a fuller conversation, you kind of can't put kerosene on your fire.
Right.
You know, like I'm not fun when I say, you know, when I go, well, you know, this happened. You know, a comedian's job, I think, is to go, here's an opinion. Now let me explain.
Yeah.
You know, and explain, and the explanation, joke, punchline. Oh, I get funny. You know what I mean? So I think like that doesn't really. There's always going to be someone, especially like, you know, like one of the opinions that I saw through publicists, I understand that comes out. The idea of they're doing 2 bachelorettes, okay? And I know that you had experience in that.
Yeah, it's deep wound.
What's that? Deep wound. Well, the way they did it to you guys, I don't think could ever happen today.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't do
to
it
have
again.
the men vote off one woman
Yeah.
on her season is like actually crazy that they did it that way.
It's crazy.
I wasn't watching the show at the time.
Yeah.
But when they had 2 women that were like with each other,
Right.
I was like, I get why they do this. This is a lower rated show. They need some sort of stunt.
They have to try something new.
They got to try something new.
Yeah.
And when someone's like, look what they're doing to the women, not the men, I go, come on, it's a lower rated show. It's not a woman thing versus a man thing. It's a money thing.
But people aren't able to look at it that way. And so my approach is like, I get to have a voice for this situation and empower women, but I also get your approach where you're like, of course they had to. It's business, it's money. Like I get both sides. I just have to pick one on the internet.
Right. Well, I get, and this is my point. There's a fun one that's like, woo, right, ladies, and everyone's like, yes, queen.
Yeah.
Ah! And then there's like the not fun way, which I always like end up doing because I can't help myself. I go, well, money, you know, like I understand why they don't touch The Bachelor. That's the more successful franchise as far, and successful is like a stupid word for that. That's a dumb word. It's just the more higher rated one because again, like there's a reason that one was created first.
Yeah.
A bunch of women in their 20s fighting for the heart of one man. Isn't entertaining for all the wrong reasons, but that's why we watch. You know?
I know.
Like,
that I'm actually shocked you're still watching.
so this is another like I just love the concept and the arc of the show. Like I like following it from beginning to end. I like that I can talk about dating topics. I have been doing a dating podcast for almost a decade now. I've been talking about dating related stuff, and it's mostly because of our age.
Yeah.
Like you and I, when we were in college, Facebook comes out.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then we get out of college and like dating websites go from like the guy in their parents' basement to regular people.
Yeah.
And then the swiping, Tinder comes out, then Instagram, then Snapchat, and then now TikTok, this whole mixed up world that we have grown up alongside and the interaction of technology and dating. I'm not an expert, but I'm also a straight guy who's willing to have a conversation about this where a lot of straight men, especially publicly, do not. Because they're, I think, either afraid or just not sure how to say it right. Like over the years, I've probably said things worse in the past, but like now when I talk about dating, I do understand that, especially for women, this is the hardest thing in some of their lives. They're crushing in their job, and they're like, I can't figure out this guy thing. So my position in the podcast world, a lot, other than The Bachelor, has been to like talk about dating in an open and honest and sometimes icky way. Yeah. But then that's where The Bachelor comes in, because I go, this is a show where a first kiss happens.
Yeah.
First date.
Yeah.
Breakups.
Not somebody just weed whacking.
I told you before we started, it's so weird to walk into like Suburbia. I felt like I was in like, like you are in. This is picturesque for the listeners at home. Behind this off the vine millennial background, there is 1920s.
It does feel like Pleasantville a little
bit. Pleasantville-ish out there.
And it's funny because it always happens. I don't see anybody outside ever. It's like people just like come home from work, get their mail, and like go in the. It's like what is that show? The Stepford Wives.
Stepford Wives is exactly the reference I was looking for. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's Stepford Wives out there.
And then of course we start recording and somebody's weed whacking, and I'm like, somebody's outside once a week, and it happens when I'm on the podcast. Sorry.
Do people in the neighborhood know who you are? Do they go? They must.
I've probably told this story on the podcast before, but my neighbor Rosemary, bless her,
that's the most neighbor name ever.
The most southern-
Rosemary, do you have any sugar?
She does.
Oh my God, she's got to have tons of sugar.
I feel like I'm
yeah.
in a time warp when I talk to her because she like bakes me things.
As a New Yorker for 15 years,
course.
that it's been so long since I've walked up the front steps and knocked on a door. Hi, is
Bizarre.
Kaitlyn home?
It's bizarre.
It was bizarre to me,
I
but
know,
it's not
'cause
bizarre.
I came from downtown Vancouver. I lived in a 420 square foot apartment for
Right.
11 years, and to like live in a house, I was like, this feels weird, and especially to have a neighbor named Rosemary.
Rosemary the neighbor. I mean, that's like sitcom. That's that's
this, and it could be. And I hope she
she's
listens
older?
because I love you. Yes.
Yeah.
And she literally came up 6 months after I moved in with. I think it was February. She comes in with Christmas soaps that are already used, and she goes,
use soaps.
"Yep." And she goes, Bachelor's my program, you know. And it was then she realized, and then she went to church, and then all the neighbors started knowing.
I love this because she just wanted to talk to you, obviously. So she's like, what can I give her? Put in some soaps.
Yeah.
Fred! I'm just imagining her husband's Fred. Fred, get me the soaps!
Yeah.
That's how my mom. Give me the soaps. I'll talk to her about the soaps.
Except exchange that for a southern accent.
You're right. I always make everything a little Jewy. I always go Jewish. Once I get loud, it's Jewish as hell. Can I say Jewish out loud in Nashville? Do they allow that here? Did I hear Jew? That's why they're weed whacking. They're like, I heard matzah's on the block. They saw me come in. That don't look right. Rosemary, I think I saw one of those Torah men outside. That's
They like start playing Kanye West to get you out.
playing what?
Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Get out of
Put
here.
on your Yeezys, Rosemary. The Jews are in the neighborhood. What? That'll be the noise your publicist takes out. Jared Freid yells, "The Jews are in the neighborhood."
Can we please make that the headline?
The Jews are in the neighborhood. Yeah, this outside it looks very Christmas wreath. It looks wreathy out there to me.
Yeah.
Like my block growing up in, outside of Boston, we were in a Irish Catholic-ish town that kind of like became Jewish over time. And my neighborhood was known as like Hanukkah Heights.
Yeah.
Because it was all Jews.
Yeah.
And then there was one house that did Christmas lights. And
Really?
Right. And you just like be like, what? It just looked bizarre.
Yeah, you're like, you're a dick. Kinda.
Right. Come on.
Yeah.
Go with the theme. We're
Read
miserable.
your audience.
Right.
Read your audience. That's funny.
So listen, I do want to say I've been critical, but in a way that like I criticize everything on the show. I have a podcast where we literally complain. People write in with their complaints and we complain.
Yes.
So, but then here's the thing I will say. I hope this brings it back to non-criticism. Everyone that I know that has met you, great things to say.
Oh, that's right.
Which is like the most important thing.
Yes.
Because then I go, and then I end up coming around to the point where I'm like, yeah, she's a businesswoman who sees, hey, we want you to do a 10-second drop on The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I get it. Like, I get it in the most, honest way possible. And then, when you guys hosted the show, I thought that was beyond your control. I didn't think it worked.
Yeah.
But I also didn't think you could, I thought it was a worse thing for you to have two hosts. Is worse to the women than two bachelorettes. That's my thought.
I do agree with that. It felt like they couldn't rely on just one to do the job, that we would need to have and then they made it so silly where we were super professional for a lot of it, but they would, make us look silly and stupid and a lot. I just feel like we weren't set up for success there.
They had to empower you. They had to, I really believe this. I think and of course you're not going to say, well, get rid of Tasha, and she's not going to say the same thing about you.
Right.
So you're both like, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Opportunity to be on network TV every week. I understand why you take the job, no matter what the job ends up being.
Yeah.
They make you Katie, who's been very nice to me, great. They make you her gal pal instead of a host, which I'm like, that's demeaning.
That's
if you want to get on.
They didn't want to pay us the host role, so they're like, you guys are mentors.
You can't be half pregnant. This is crazy.
I know.
And that's what the mentor thing didn't work for me. And it's also like, it comes off as two evil stepsisters because you guys are glowed up. You've lived in LA. You've gotten the Fitty sponsorships. You got the money. You got a little bit of dough in your pocket.
Yeah.
You're not like,
oh, Katie.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, did you wear your American Eagle?
Yeah. Oh,
you have
your boxy T-shirt.
Right, and you have a glam squad. that you've been
Hey, she
intro
did
to.
too.
I'm sure she does too, but she has like the TV given one.
Yeah.
And you have like people you trust, which for women, I don't know this world, but I know that if you trust a hairstylist, you're going to go back to them $1,000. You're going to bring your
true.
own.
It's
you know,
true.
so and also once you go on HD once, you go, let me figure this shit out.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
Let me tell you, back in my day, when I
Right.
was on The Bachelor, I didn't even know how to do mascara.
Right, and I noticed that like whenever it's my I host the Bachelor podcast. I have
Yes.
7,000. I never
Yeah, how
shut
many
the fuck up.
podcasts do you have?
I have 3 podcasts.
How?
The You Up podcast is the one I think
Okay.
your listeners will love if they
Okay.
want an honest take on dating.
Yes.
Especially if you live in Nashville, this is one of the harder places to date
It really
in the
is.
country.
The ratio of men to women here is a joke.
Lots of women and it's lots of visitors. If you're in a
Yeah,
town that men
that's
visit, you're kind of
Yeah.
because they're like you can have this like magical weekend, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, and my wife and kids are at home, you know. So
It's true.
So here is like it has an element of like, and I was on a flight here, and there was like a guy next to me. You could just see the testosterone running through his veins.
Oh, God,
he
just
came.
couldn't wait to get to Broadway. Like,
There is an element because
Yeah.
women come here because they feel
Yeah.
safe. It's like a smaller city. There's that
Yeah.
one street. Go out, put on your cowboy hat, go in the back of a van,
throw an air tag on.
good to go,
Yeah.
right? Throw an air tag. Yeah, exactly. Mom can find you.
Yeah.
And then, but you go, like, there's a certain, bro who's showing up. Or I hate bro, but like guy.
Yeah.
It's a wolf in the hen house type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I know women are here going to be going crazy. I'll be a guy with my boys getting crazy. And I've probably told men, I'm like, probably a good place for a bachelorette if you want to meet single women. But again, there's a difference between living in a city where you're single and visiting a city when you're single.
Well, and also there's I see those things on TikTok where they go, if this is your husband, he's cheating on
Right.
you right now. I'm always like, oh, God.
I mean, and then I saw one where she was wrong.
Oh,
And
I
they
saw
were like,
that too.
that one went super viral. And
It
then
like
that
ruined the person's life.
Right. It sucks. I'm those videos. I'm not for that. But I understand. You see those and you go. Also, it's hard to look away from. You go.
Of
It's
course.
juicy as fuck.
I love Juicy.
Right.
I
Who
love
doesn't?
Juicy.
There's a reason we watch 30 women dating one man.
So but what do you feel about Paradise? Do you watch that?
I like it. So again, this is me being a miserable comic. I hate that everyone's in on the joke now. I
know.
Like I'm there to like, I like when they take themselves super seriously, and it's like
I
that's why
agree.
it's fun to make fun of, because it's like it's very this neighborhood, the Wisteria Lane. It's very the romance of I'll take you on this helicopter ride. The delusion, and you kind of live in it if you're a fan of The
Yeah.
Bachelor. You get to Paradise, it's more like real dating, actually. It's very much Bumble.
Yeah.
It's very much Tinder. Okay, I'm dating someone else. Let me keep swiping. Someone comes down the stairs.
True.
And here's someone new. Do I swipe right or left in real time?
It's a shit
but
show,
I do watch Paradise.
So
I
you
like
like
it.
Bachelor the best.
Yeah, I always thought that The Bachelor would be better off. They're doing like the older Bachelor, but it feels like they're making it into a joke too much. I think the
know.
best version of The Bachelor would be, first of all, this sounds bad, but like I think whoever's the main character has to be killing it.
Yeah.
Like I think business person. Like I think or something where they have like made it in a way where they have the time to do this show. I think the best version of The Bachelorette is like mid-30s woman, whatever she's doing, just crushing in business or law
they
or whatever.
usually have that.
I need something where they're like Forbes level crushing it, and then you have these men who are in their 40s and 50s who have done well.
Yeah, but they don't pay the lead enough to have someone like that, because they'd be like, why would I jeopardize my whole crushing career that I'm just like
I guess you would
possibly ruin my reputation, lose my job, and have
but
a
the
million
women don't
followers
really
instead?
sorry to interrupt, but the women don't really get ruined in that way ever, do they?
Yeah. What do you mean?
Like I think
the actual leads, the
the
Bachelorettes?
leads, like how would they ruin their reputation? Like I think the men are
tried
like
with me.
you think you ruin your.
No, they tried. They definitely helped.
How did they try?
They wanted me to be like the slutty one who everyone hated, and they like made it a thing that everyone hated me, but it ended up working out in my favor.
Because everyone's like, that's exactly how I act and how I am. Like I like
it
to
was like middle
do.
America, like Rosemary probably hated me on the show. And then like all my Canadians and like more progressive people are like, yeah, she had sex.
Right. Let's bring in Rosemary now. I brought her. Can you imagine? She walks in. She goes, "No, I Frederick every night. I suck him off like crazy. I've been sucking on Frederick's balls since the beginning of the we bought the house in No Juville. You know, she walks in. I just like, you know, I know what you mean. Like, there's a very conservative group that watches the show, and then there's also like, I don't know. I'm in that group of like, I just think it's just. I've watched reality TV my whole life.
Yeah.
I've watched every show.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
I mean, I do really enjoy The Bachelor.
Yeah.
You know, I watch. But I've just always like. All those Rock-a-Loves, you know,
God.
all those
Flavor
Flav. I watched Joe Millionaire, the first one.
Oh, that was good.
It's great. Like,
Joe
I don't know.
Millionaire's
I've always had an interest in this. Like, what are they gonna do? When they're proposed with this thing? Like to me, this guy,
Braden, the dangly earring
Braden
guy.
is fantastic. He's like from the old school of reality TV to me.
Okay.
Because,
wait, I would love this different take on him because I was like, get him out of here. But also, what would we do without him? It's easy to poke fun at.
He's
and
a
that's
fun,
what the show's about. Yeah,
absolutely. He's a fun punching bag.
Yeah,
because he's the old school version of like. I don't think I'm just me.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Why wouldn't I wear
true.
a dream catcher earring?
And a tablecloth for a scarf.
Why?
Right.
You think it's funny? Why would you think that's funny? He's very 24 in that way. Like he's very idealistic.
I kept being like, oh God, Braden's your age is showing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at 24, you go, you know, you're very like black and white with your opinions. You're like, there's no nuance to the world.
Yeah.
And you could tell he's like, just me and my gal. We're just gonna go to the mountains and we'll do some shrooms and. Who has responsibilities? I'm a travel nurse. I'll leave here in 3 months. And you, right? Like,
like a true travel nurse.
Right. And he's like Gen Z 24, which is like, what, men can't wear earrings? And you're like, well, no, I think it's just funny to make fun of you. Oh, really?
I know.
I guess you're I guess you're a part of the patriarchy. Like, he would like come back at me with that, I feel like.
I'm telling you, I made fun of his earrings for like 20 minutes on my last podcast, and I was scared of the whole thing. I was like, oh God, Gen Zs are going to come after me.
I saw Braden, and I go, it was like one of these dogs. Like, easy, easy. Don't be Mr. Old Man. And then when he got to the 6th earring of the episode, I was like, he wore 7 different. I love someone like that. I love someone who's
because it makes your job very easy.
Right. I love that person as a person. Like it makes my job easy. But like when they don't get it, like when they don't see the irony, when they don't see that he's went from like it was out of like. It was out of a spoof movie. It was like out of the movie Airplane. It was a bit out of Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it wasn't like where it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and you're like,
oh my God.
And he doesn't know what's getting
on
bigger.
Scary Movie 3 when her hat just keeps getting bigger and she can't get inside the car.
That's the second time that reference has come up this week for me. I don't know
really?
how. That's crazy. But
weird.
Yeah. It was maybe someone did that. Talked about it. It might have been Kay. I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I told you I don't shut the. I'm sorry, and I haven't shut the up ears. One of your listeners is like, this Jew won't shut the up. One of your conservative listeners is unhappy.
I don't know if I have any.
They don't understand this energy I'm giving. This is very
first of all,
Northeast Jew energy.
This is my favorite kind of energy because it makes my job very easy too. Because I love to banter, I love to laugh, and you just take it away.
I love podcasting. I enjoy the whole thing. I try my best.
Okay, some take it or leave it advice for you, but I suggest you take it. We're officially in summer. Don't let summer funk ruin your summer fun. That's a no thanks for me. This year, it's time to do what I'm doing and summer-proof your body odor. And I'm talking about using Lumi Whole Body Deodorant for pits, privates, and beyond. Yes, this is a deodorant for your entire bod. And since I started using it a few months ago, changed the way I deal with a little stink. Lumi was created by an OB-GYN who developed a uniquely formulated pH-balanced deodorant, and it's aluminum-free, skin-safe, clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. That's a long time. And it's clinically proven to control odor better than a shower with soap alone. Safe to use anywhere on your body when you smell and you don't want to, including below the belt. I like to use it on my little feetsies, okay? Don't judge when they're getting a little ripe. They have really fresh, nice scents like clean tangerine, lavender, sage, and toasted coconut. I'm actually really into the toasted coconut for summertime. Lumi's starter pack, which is what I got, is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. And as a special offer for my listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code VINE at LumiDeodorant.com. That equates to over 40% of your starter pack when you visit LumiDeodorant.com and use code VINE, L-U-M-E deodorant.com. Use promo code VINE. I want to know your top 3 things that annoy you about me.
About you?
Yeah.
That you're playing the game of the internet, which is like, is undefeated.
You like that?
You just take sometimes you take a stance, and I'm like, of course that's the opinion.
I do that.
Go women.
Yeah.
Or she kind of acted like a dipshit there, and he's kind of like, okay. Like, like.
What? Tell me one time I acted like a dipshit.
I don't know. This is the other thing. It's like, and then when people told me you're like great, I go, what is my one example? I go, I don't even have. I'm like, now I'm doing my own bit. It's this thing. The internet is done in retweets. Okay,
yeah.
Everyone love and hate. Those are the only 2 things people retweet.
Yes.
Love and hate.
Yeah.
I'm very much on everything. Like I mean, I can rail about stuff, but that's kind of why I like The Bachelor. Again, this brings me back to why I got into the show. Is like, it offers me an arena to have an opinion on things.
You're probably saying a lot of what a lot of people are thinking too.
Well, that's the other thing. And the things, when you say the thing that a lot of people are thinking, that they're in the back giving you a thumbs up. They're not at the front being like,
totally.
Yes, queen. Yeah. Right? They do it in silence.
Yes.
So like when I make fun of something and they're like, thank God you said that, you know, because they couldn't say it. You know, I'm not doing genius shit, you know, like.
What Bachelors drive you insane?
The Bachelor. I mean, I thought Matt James wasn't great. I mean, he was just all energy, no substance. Yeah. But also we didn't really get a chance to know him that well in that season. That's what I think too. Yeah. So I heard from everyone, they're like, that guy is a total character. Like, from when people I know that know him in like the fitness community. Yeah. When he was announced as the Bachelor, people were like, that guy. He is a bolt of lightning. He's going to come in.
But they wanted to put him in a box to keep him safe.
Right. So that's the one thing where I go, well, we didn't even get a chance. But I'm like, you know, I'm trying to think of who else. Who do I roll my... Oh, Vial. He stinks. Yeah. Vial is the worst. He won't have me on his show.
What?
That guy...
Oh, because you chirp?
I don't care. Like, like I chirp at you.
Yeah.
But you're having me on and you're having fun with it.
I love it.
Like, I always have anyone who asks me to come on, I go, let's do it. Let's see it. Let's figure it out. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the other way.
So I have come a long way with being sensitive, though, as well, where I probably turned down going on Betches like a while ago because I was like, oh, they hurt my feelings, where now I wouldn't turn it down. Like, I think I've come a long way with being sensitive. You
would be awesome on You Up. And, like, that's the thing. When I have someone on, like, I'm here to make it. We have to be great. Yeah. Like, when you have someone, we just had Charity on. She was fantastic.
Isn't she lovely?
So nice, so great. But I write reviews of everyone before they go on the show, like of their profiles. Yeah. They had something about her wanting to live in Disney World. So I was like, are you a Disney adult? Like, I need to ask you this question. And she was like, no. This is like out of nowhere. Good, now we're on the podcast having a conversation about it. Yeah. We played Fuck, Marry, Kill with Captain Hook, Ursula, and Captain Hook, Ursula, and who was the other one? Jafar.
Oh.
Who you going?
I would kill Ursula.
Kill Ursula. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, hot Ursula or under the sea Ursula?
What's hot Ursula? She changes too.
Yeah, she goes in to make herself look like the Little Mermaid, who's pretty and has the voice, and she's hot.
I only think of Under the Sea Ursula.
Okay, kill Ursula.
And I don't see looks.
I do.
I think she's hot in both ways. Go women. Yes, line. Queen
That's
Ursula. I'm sorry, I took your... All Ursulas are beautiful.
I don't want to fat shame Ursula, but I would kill her.
Okay.
I would Jafar, because he'd be a freak in the sack.
Okay.
I would like to see that, but he would have to leave the bird at home because I'm terrified of birds.
No bird. Okay.
And then Hook, I would marry because he'd protect me.
Okay. All answers are correct answers. I like the answer.
Yeah.
I'm marrying Ursula.
Okay.
8 tentacles. They could go anywhere.
Ah, fair.
Then
but you have to. Okay. Yeah.
What after what?
She smell like fish or something.
Listen, once you're in the smell, you don't notice the smell anymore.
You just get used to it.
Right. Yeah. That's our smell now. See how beautiful this could be?
That's really romantic.
And it's romantic. I'd marry Ursula. I'm f***ing Hook.
What? That's
killing
terrifying.
Jafar. Listen, take off that hand.
That's on there for good.
Put attachments on.
No, that hook's on there for good.
For good?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can have fun with the hook. I'm f***ing Hook. I'm f***ing Hook.
We're with the hook. I don't
Right,
care.
whatever. Throw the hook up my ass while you blow me. You know what? Why not?
That sounds kinky and something you would do.
Hey, I am here. Male,
we don't
straight male ass play, all for it.
We don't shame. We don't yuck people's yum on here.
I'm in favor of that line.
I need to know what you think about Threads, though.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
Do you think it's here to stay?
I think so. I think so.
Is it fuck you, Elon Musk?
It's all weird.
Yeah.
I liked using Twitter. I use Twitter as like a notebook. I was like, let me see how this tweet
Twitter.
does.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. As far as like joke premises and stuff, as a comic,
Yeah.
I've taken tweets and brought them on stage.
Yeah.
It's a little bit open micy to me.
Yeah.
Threads is good for my purposes because most of my following is female.
Yeah.
And Threads kind of like made, I think Twitter was always this like, wasn't as female as Instagram.
Yeah.
Instagram is now kind of like, hey, come on in. It feels like there's this new group that wasn't on Twitter on Threads, which I kind of like.
I agree with that. And in the people who didn't really get to love and appreciate Twitter now get it on Instagram, and they're like, "Oh, this is great."
Right? Like we and you see this a lot probably with the Bachelor. I'm not a Bachelor person. People do that. They don't want to. They don't want to not know something.
My wife.
Right, my wife.
My
right.
friend.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Do
Yeah.
you understand? Oh, you're the guy I hear on my wife's Instagram. Listen, I get the funny part about like my space in the world is that a lot of women comics and I have similar stories to tell of like the boyfriend. Oh, my wife's girlfriend brought me and I didn't think I'd like it and it was pretty good and dude, I didn't think and then duty comes out of their face. Like they get into duty talk. And I go, and it's like that dude that got dragged to the show that I go, I'm not, because they think if I have a Bachelor thing and a dating podcast, I must be lying to women, is what they think.
Or gay.
Or gay, I guess, right. So, and I'm like, and then they come to my show, they go, oh, this was like a show that I would go.
That we could hang.
That we could hang. You're saying things that that I have fun with too.
Yeah.
So, the only, again, like to, with you, where I see you doing some of the things that I have been critical about, it's because like I know that game too. Like the reason I got into The Bachelor as much as I did, I was sick one night. Every night I do stand-up. I've been doing stand-up for 13 years, and I was doing open mics in New York City, then move on to clubs, and then start traveling and all that stuff. Stand-up is the goal, always was, always is.
Yeah.
I love doing stand-up. But when you're in New York, getting on stage every night, it's this like, okay, I got to find... I wasn't getting cast in anything. Mm-hmm. No one was looking for me, to write for their show. I'd submit packets to be a writer. It wasn't working out. And I was like, I got to create my own shit. Like I always had to. So I created a podcast, a decade ago. So then You Up starts with Betches. And then I was living with my younger brother and we were like, I was sick and we're both on both couches, like laid out.
Yeah.
And The Bachelor comes on and I start like tweeting stuff about The Bachelor. And then I was like, oh, and then the response was like, and this is like right after
you.
you.
Funny stuff.
Well, it was right after you were done, but like at that point, like that's when the internet got involved.
100%.
So like I'm like, oh, these are like getting like real traction. I can be funny in this like here's a stage.
And I could do it from my couch and not
have to leave the house.
Go grind in New York City.
Right.
Yeah.
And hope someone casts me in something. So I was like, and the thing is, if you can put butts in seats, it doesn't matter. So it's like, so I started tweeting about The Bachelor. Then I started doing this thing called Dudes Watching Rom-Coms, where I'd watch romantic comedies and I would like put commentary on them, just me being me.
Right.
And I was like, oh, how about we put together like the live element of, the show with like the dudes watching rom-coms, like so I put them together and then Instagram stories comes out. Yeah. So now I'm like, I'll just scream at the show on my Instagram stories. And people started like, I saw the shares were up, people are getting involved. So I would take off the night every Monday for The Bachelor. Yeah. And like, I go to the Comedy Cellar in New York City. It's like the greatest club in the world. And you're there with all these older comics. And I'm like, what? You do what? You take the night off? What the are you doing?
Right.
And you have and people looking at you like you're crazy. Yeah. And this was like before comics started like putting things on the internet. I was always putting things on the internet. So it's funny because like, with the show, you got people that are like, you still watch it? I'm like, yeah, I still like making jokes, like.
I guess, and I was thinking you had started since the beginning.
Yeah,
So
well, that's the other thing. Someone probably listening right now, you probably have these people that have an encyclopedia-like knowledge of the show.
Yes.
I don't have that. Like, people, like, if Juan Pablo's name comes up, it's like, what? People go crazy. I have no reference to Juan Pablo.
Right.
I started with Ben Higgins and... JoJo and like those seasons. Now I'm like, I can't believe how long I've been doing this. And I like doing it. Like, I like dressing up. Like, if you go to my live stream from last week, I dressed up with like, a clothing hanger on my ear. And as the technology got better, like, so could the live stream. The show got better. So I could go on TikTok. I could make videos of me with a green screen, like me, like when they, like put myself on the show, like where I could go, hey, like I could go do my entrance because I had the green screen now. So like,
what would your limo entrance be?
Cleopatra style. Oh. I would be on a bed, with like a bed, like laying on a bed. Yeah. Grapes above me, being fed grapes. Yeah. 10 gorgeous men. Yeah. Holding me. Yeah. And then they'd bring me past the woman, and then they'd bring me down. I'd put my hand out for her to kiss my hand, and then I would go inside. But then the whole rest of the night, the men would carry me around laying on this thing. So I'd be... That's good.
Okay, real talk here. Did you guys know that 1 out of 8 couples struggle with infertility? Well, that's a staggering statistic that most people don't know or aren't ready to talk about, I guess. I'm definitely starting to see more people be open about it. But there's so much more to go. And we really do need to get good data and information about our bodies in order to have informed conversations with our doctors, make the best decisions for ourselves and our futures, whether we want kids now or someday in the future. And that's why modern fertility was created. It's an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with just a simple finger prick. So mail it in with a prepaid label, and you'll get your personalized results within 6 business days. You'll get insight into your hormone levels, like your ovarian reserve, aka if you have more or fewer eggs than average for your age, and other important factors that can impact your fertility. Right now, Modern Fertility is offering my listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/offthevine. That means your test will cost $159, which is literally a fraction of what it would cost at a fertility clinic. So get $20 off your fertility tests when you go to modernfertility.com/offthevine, modernfertility.com/offthevine. Okay, you hear that sound? It's the sound of a sale you're missing out on because you're not selling on Shopify. And what does it sound like with Shopify? That's much better. We love that. Don't you like the sound of that? Well, you should start selling with Shopify today. Shopify is the commerce platform revolutionizing millions of businesses worldwide. Whether you're a garage entrepreneur or IPO ready, Shopify is the only tool that you need to start, run, and grow your business without the struggle. I've used it. It's incredible. It puts you in control of every sale channel. So whether you're selling satin sheets from Shopify's in-person POS system or offering organic olive oil on Shopify's all-in-one e-commerce platform, you're covered. And once you've reached your audience, Shopify has the internet's best converting checkout to help you turn them from browsers to buyers. Now, as someone who has multiple businesses and knows what it takes to sell products online, I love how Shopify gives you everything you need to take your business to that next level, no matter how big you are at the moment or how big you want to grow. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S., and Shopify is truly a global force, powering Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across over 170 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/vine, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/vine to take your business to the next level today. Shopify.com/vine. Do you know Robin Shaw?
Yeah, she's unbelievable, and like to see her success.
She has a podcast with Betches now too.
Yeah, she just started a podcast, and like it's funny because like the people I've been around, to see them pop up places, and all of a sudden TikTok, Robin during the pandemic like blows up, and you're like, good, thank God. I she's so funny, so much fun,
and such a sweetheart.
The best. I mean, like the thing is with comics, like when, you know, stand-ups, it's some of the best and worst people in the world.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really find a middle, like, they're okay.
Yeah,
like,
it's
also someone
like
like...
cilantro.
Right. It's total cilantro. Right. Right. And I'm sure you see that in the Bachelor world too, because like, what is the impetus to go on a show? Like, you're either like this, like, you know, snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
Or you're just like, fun thing to do. I'm a fun person.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know if there's anyone that's medium.
There's a couple people that genuinely do go on for love.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Which is, it's got to be a tough person to relate to. Like, I could see how love could happen.
Right. That was my perspective.
Right.
I was like, I'm definitely going on for an opportunity to have fun, see what happens, and if I fall in love, great. Added
bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was, who did I meet? I met, people didn't like him.
Who?
He was nice to me. Georgia, dated Andy.
Josh Murray.
He said something very specific. He's like, it's crazy to fall in love in the show, but he's like, when you're in it, this like small thing, you're sharing something with someone that you like no one else has any relation to on earth.
Yeah.
You can, and then every day you're getting asked like, how do you feel? What do you think? And it's about love.
Yeah.
And I go, from that perspective, I can understand how someone falls in love quickly.
Oh yeah.
I totally understand that. Like,
it's just tunnel vision on love.
Right.
You don't get to talk about other things.
Right.
Except for falling in love.
Right. And then you go, no dating apps. You know they're not dating anyone else.
Yeah.
Like, it's very unrealistic in that sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get to zone in. Well, tell me about your family.
Yeah.
You know, who's doing that in the second date? You know, second date, you're having a few drinks, you're having fun, you're seeing what it's all about.
I still feel like the real relationship happens off the TV show. Even though you can get to know someone so deeply and like have this time and then go to fantasy suites, meet their family, you're still like, I'm on camera.
Right. Yeah, you got to be a version of yourself. You got to be on.
Yeah, of course. And of course they, fill you full of alcohol and no sleep and blah, blah, blah to make you not your best version of yourself.
Right.
So you get snippets of the messy part, but that's what makes you relatable.
Right.
But then after it's like, okay, here's me not done up. Here's me without extensions. Here's me like on a bad day, PMS, anxiety, farting in my sleep. Like,
this is what you get.
Yeah.
This is what you bought on the show. And I've been on those things where the producer will be like, hey, yeah, that'd be cool if you did that. And you're like, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah. See, I was the idiot. I was like, you think that'd be cool? Let me go do it. Right. I'll do it bigger than what you just said. That's what I did.
I'm in.
Yeah,
right.
I was like, this sounds like a great idea because I have that mentality where I didn't know what television was all about until...
How old are you on the show?
29.
29, yeah. Yeah.
29.
29. I mean, and I hate when someone's like, 29, you should know better. It's like, yeah, that's always a person that like never left their house. They got married at 22 and they never like had to make a hard decision.
Of course I didn't know any better.
No, you don't know any better. You don't know any better. I'm 38. I still don't know any better.
I don't know any better. I still learn every day. I'm like, oh shit, how am I still here doing this? Do you get scared of getting canceled?
No, yeah. No. Someone's always gonna be mad. We do live in the follower economy. Like the thing about the canceled thing is like, comedians, when you hear it from comedians, like the question always becomes like, you afraid to say what you want on stage?
Yeah.
Funny always beats controversial. If it's funny, people always like it, and then they go, "Oh, it was kind of funny."
Yeah.
If it's about a topic that shouldn't be talked about.
Yeah.
So all topics can be made funny. The people that have issues are usually people who are lazy with it.
Yeah.
And listen, there's someone out there that's seen something I've said and been like, "F that dude, I'm out." That's okay. I think when they and that's the beauty of the follower economy.
Right.
Is that someone can go, "Oh, I'll leave," but then they never leave quietly.
Yeah.
They always go, "Well, right, everybody, look at this. You're mad too." And again, you go, "Hey, all those, I guess you could all leave." I don't think I've always acted honestly. I've always said, the thing that I felt, and it's okay to agree and disagree. I've never wanted to get somebody. So like, I never wanted I think also like my stand-up is personal. Like everything's a personal story. Everything started in complete and utter truth. Like the things I'm talking about right now, I'm talking about my family, but that stuff, I don't know. Everyone has I block people so much and to the point, every day.
Oh.
Because I believe that social media is like my party that I'm throwing.
Yeah. And you're not invited.
You don't like the music? You should go.
Yeah.
Right? That's the music I play.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. You go, and I had someone on TikTok the other day, they're like, "Can you unblock me from your Instagram?" And I go, "I must have had a good reason. Maybe we can start again here."
Yeah.
I didn't do it for no reason.
Yeah. People have said that to me too. Can you unblock my sister? I'm like, well, obviously she said something that really.
Right.
I don't block people very easily.
No?
No.
Oh, I'm like, get out of here. Really? I don't need you here.
I don't need them there, but I don't care if they're there.
See, I just like, you and I, we're human beings. Yeah. Like, we see these things, they hurt our feelings.
Yeah, some really do. Yeah,
yeah, and you go, listen, my goals here are entertainment.
Yeah.
My goal isn't to like change your mind on shit.
Right.
I'm saying this because I think it's funny. If you believe it, good. If you don't, that's okay too.
That's like, I posted a bikini pic and I was like, is it wrong that I'm not wearing blue, white, or red American colors? I'm Canadian, and people were like, "This country's done so much for you. Go back to Canada." And I was like, "It's fucking amazing."
Again, right, and it's also like they're getting such an adrenaline rush on being able to tell someone that can't come back at them. Because if you come back to them, it's like, don't you have better things to do than talk to some nobody? And you're like, this isn't a fair discussion. You know, like, yeah.
But then I'm like, blocking takes more time to me than just letting it go.
Yeah, I'm just like, get out.
Yeah, but I like that perspective too, because I never heard someone say, you don't like the music?
Yeah, let me lead you to the door.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm also like very in touch with people who follow me. Like
Same.
Right? You have a personal relationship. Like
yeah.
That's the other hard part, is like, it's hard to separate. Like, someone messaged me like, hey, my friend can't get into the show. I go, I got you.
Yeah.
Like, done. Like, smallest favor in the world, don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I do like the idea of them being like, wow, like that was a nice thing that he did for us. Like
I agree. And I like doing nice things and then not showcasing them.
No, I just bring them on this podcast and I talk about them as much as possible.
But like people said to me, you only respond to negative. I was like, oh, I absolutely do. I have some really incredible conversations in my DMs with incredible people that follow me. And we have very like genuine, thoughtful conversation.
Oh, well, that's something I didn't do comedy for. Like I didn't do it to like, I just need to help these people improve. Yes, queens. Yeah, no, I did it for a very like personal reason. I want to be funny for money.
Yeah,
I want to make a living being a stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
and
you do.
And I do, and then people come back to me, and you get these messages. My Monday is so helped by, and you go, this is too much. I don't know what to do with this. I'm like, thank you. I'm so happy I can help you through whatever you're going through.
Right.
Like I'm genuinely happy this helped. It feels a little weird because that wasn't my goal. You don't want to be stolen valor over here.
I do feel like my goal, and you might roll your eyes at
this.
Oh
no, come on, Kaitlyn, don't do this. You live in a mansion. You don't have to do this.
That's how I feel about like Janet Jackson doing a meet and greet at 57. I'm like, Janet, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this anymore.
Meet and greet.
You're fine. But I genuinely want to be a light for people, and I want.
But what light?
I also want to make a lot of money doing it.
Sure. Okay.
I also want to make people laugh.
Okay.
I love making people laugh. I love money, and I love nice things. But I do think I was put on this planet to make people like feel good.
Okay. I like that for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
good for me, not for you.
Well, I get like, that's the thing. That's where I get into like, yeah, of course. I don't know. Like what like I'm the turn the punch bowl. What's that?
I feel it in my soul.
You feel it in your soul. You feel you were placed here.
Yes.
In this world.
To shine, like whatever I go through.
Shine a wine. And you can buy Spade and Spare Sparrows.
But you can also
promo code Shining Light.
You can have both. I also feel like I'm put on this planet to be a businesswoman and be good at what I'm doing, but also be this. Like you can be so many different things.
Yeah, listen, you can, and I agree with that. It is. Don't get me wrong. When someone writes me a message like that, you go, "Wow, this is the nicest thing.
Yeah.
This is a feeling I didn't expect. I'm excited. I'm like, I like it. But, when I go talk about farting for 20 minutes, it's really unexpected. When I dress up with a spatula on one ear and a hanger on the other going,
really
hey, I'm Braden. These cool cats. Like I'm doing stupid shit. So
I wish I did more stupid shit. I always have these ideas in my head that are so funny to me, but I always think if I put it out there, they're not going to be funny. And that
bombing is the most instructional and humbling. No, but it teaches right away. Nothing teaches me more than saying something that gets no laugh. And it's also like falling flat on your face.
Yeah.
It sucks. It doesn't feel right. But it's also like, Oh, good. I never have to say it that way again.
That's true.
Like, it's kind of a nice
I
thing.
like when people think of failures as learning lessons too, because that's how you get through life.
I have to. I fail so much. I do so many stupid things on the internet. I was yelling at charcuterie. I'm the board lord. I was I yell at the Bachelor. I go, like what is the there's been so many things. I give dating advice as a single guy who's 38, never married, no kids. What's stupider than that? This is the dumbest.
Maybe that's why you're single and you're like, everybody else is doing it wrong. Here's
Well,
what actually makes you happy.
Right. Well, coaches coach and players play. Maybe I'm more of a coach when it comes to love, I
like that.
Bill Belichick never played in the NFL. He's the greatest coach of all time.
That's true.
I don't know. I listen, it's so much easier to give advice than take advice. Like, that's the other thing.
I could sit here and talk to you. What time are we
I'm
at
having
right
a great time. I'm never leaving. I'm moving in.
I'm not done
Tell
with you
Jason.
yet. Yeah. Jay.
Jason gave me a shout out on his podcast. Him and Tyler's always been nice.
Tyler's so nice.
I like Tyler a lot. That guy, he must have been kissed by God. The luckiest. These are my 2 luckiest bachelors ever.
Okay.
Tyler Cameron.
Yeah.
All he did was say, a woman said, I don't want to you because I already know I you. And he was like, yeah, no problem. I totally get it. And everyone's like, wow, feminist icon.
The bar is in hell.
In hell. Yeah. Like crazy.
Yeah.
Grocery Joe.
Garbage truck Joe.
Garbage Grocery Joe. The guy was on TV for 15 minutes.
I know.
Everyone who watched the show created this Hallmark fantasy movie guy.
I know.
And now he's never going to work again? Is that what's going on? Now he's just given the Bachelor sponsored podcast too?
And he's not a man of many words.
I got to say, no one has said less and been nominated a podcast host in like the history of podcast. I don't, nice guy, don't get me wrong.
The nicest.
Couldn't be, Serena, she's a f***ing champion. Serena's like she came on as a guest on our podcast and it was like, we were blown away. Like, awesome. Can't say enough. Canadian.
We love Canadians.
I've had this thing. Canadian women. There is a thing.
They make you roll your eyes, but they also make you laugh.
They do. They do.
And it's good.
And I roll and a laugh. No, everyone said, even the woman at Zany's. Do you know Lucy?
Yes, of course.
Loves you.
Wait, I love
her. And I love Lucy. Yeah. I mean, what am I? Catchphrase?
And I love Lucy.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah,
Wait,
Lucy loves you.
You have 5 shows in Nashville.
5 shows this weekend.
That's crazy.
I always...
You always do 5?
Yeah, it's a weekend. It's a comedy club weekend. Listen, not everyone... I've had, listen, my life is good. But I've had, this progression that is very little by little.
We love a micro shift.
I'm a micro shift. Yeah. Some have said the same about my penis. So no.
I love a micro shift.
That's what I call getting hard.
Thoughts and prayers to the micro penis community.
But I've more and more people come every year and it's really nice. But I'm here to work on material. You go to a club I'm working on this story that I'm excited about and talking about my parents, and people see what I love about it is that I get mothers and daughters and fathers and sons and families that come and really like it. Stand up, there was a time where stand up the only people there were 5 people in the world who could tour without having another thing. Mm-hmm. Now, because of social media, there's a lot of people podcasts for me and live streams,
Do you find it overwhelming to have so many podcasts and be touring and doing shows, or are you this is what I was meant to do?
This is thrive
in the chaos?
It's hard for starting a life. I want to date.
Oh,
I do want to. Yeah, I do want to be in a relationship.
Let's get you dating someone. Let's get one of the listeners. Oh my God.
This never works well.
Show.
People. No. This is this. No.
What's your type? Do you have a type?
I I did a whole episode where I made a list of things I was looking for.
Amazing.
Jordana.
Should have a list.
What's that?
Everybody should have a list.
Yeah, I think it made it easier. I like a curvier woman who's fun, likes to go out, and Jewish has been kind of the road I go down. Yeah. I feel a familial connection with Jews. Robin would be nice. We're friends. That's. So I mean,
I would root for that relationship so hard.
But it's it's a funny, it's a tough thing too, because it's again, it's hard to get something on. I have my thing where I've been in relationships, you get out and you go, I don't, if anyone's been through a breakup, they go, I need time to like not do that again. And, I've had the issue of like getting past like date 1, 2 area to go, am I having fun because I'm here, or am I having fun, which is a true narcissist, but but like I can make a first date fun.
I high-fived myself at the end of a 6-hour road trip once because I was like, fun to hang out with. Like I was like, and I was so serious. I was like, I had the greatest time hanging out with me for 6 hours. Like I was like, I'm fun. That's
the problem with being single in your 30s is like, people are like, the more you say I'm okay with my life, the sadder you sound. You're like,
I think so.
I do. Of course, it's hard to defend. Oh, I like being alone. I love it. I swear.
I love it.
I don't need anybody.
It's my favorite thing.
Yeah, you never sound...
Just the tears coming out, yeah.
I like eating alone in my bed. I cuddle with the crummies. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and especially like, I hear from a lot of women, because a lot of women listen to the podcast.
What's the craziest dating story you've ever heard or question, or what's the best advice? Tell me something about your podcast where you're like, that was... We've had it for so long.
My best thing is I think a lot of women do this thing where they try to say, I'm so confused. Yeah. They always say, I'm so confused.
Yeah.
You're not confused. You're turned off.
Yeah.
They don't say they're turned off.
Confusion is clarity.
Right.
Yeah.
But women rarely say they're turned off. And it is something that's very powerful. They don't want to own because they're going, because what happens is I'm looking for love and then someone else is giving me attention. So you can't complain at all. And it's like, how about you were just turned off? You don't like this person. Do you like this person?
Do you think you should tell that person that you're turned off, or just cut
no?
It off
I think it's okay.
Decide?
That's the thing. People think they're pushing aside good hands to find for no hand.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're pushing aside a hand that isn't yours.
Yeah.
To go find the right hand for you.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is it's just from the women that talk to me, they'll be like, he does this, he does that, and he does this, and I'm like, yeah, you don't like him.
Yeah.
How about you don't like him?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I have gotten to know you and I am turned off by you.
Right.
And also, like, what ends up happening if you start saying that you're turned off by stuff, you create a standard. And, men don't, the whole chase thing, the whole idea of like,
oh, it's so dumb.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
But what I will say is if you have no standard, then there is no chase.
Yeah.
So I think men chase standards, where you go, and that sounds very hokey. Again, I'm now in Yes Queen land.
That's why I was like, yes.
Yeah, this really speaks to you. But it's like you get in this thing where you go like, and it's hard for me too, as a guy. I'm just saying I hear from women. So like, but for me, it's hard to go, am I annoyed or am I confused or turned off?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm really turned off by this behavior.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they don't text me every day, but and then you go, it's okay to say a text turns you off.
Yeah.
It's okay to say the way they're talking to me turns me off. It's okay to say their lack of a plan turns me off. And it's okay. You can go to someone and go, hey, your lack of making plans has really turned me off and I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
And then what you're going to find is that person doesn't chase or they're going to make a plan. Oh, I better make a plan.
And they're coming to you for advice, people always have to justify if they feel a certain way. They have to be like, but he's really good at this, or they always have to make. But you're like, that's not what we're here for. We're here to dive into the hard shit.
Right. If it doesn't matter to you, if this thing didn't matter to you, you wouldn't be coming to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, am I turned off? I think is like the biggest thing that people don't ask themselves enough.
Yeah.
And I get turned off all the time. Like, and it's fine. It's not that this is a bad person, just not my person.
Right. I think I like that advice, actually.
Well, thank you. I try my best.
You should have a podcast.
It's called the You Up Podcast.
Tell everybody where they can find it.
You Up Podcast. I thought I was going to confess something today.
Oh, yeah. That's right before I let you go, which is now.
Okay, good. Oh,
I want you to tell everyone where to find
You Up Podcast. It's every Wednesday and Sunday. Like, the way I would consider, I co-host it with Jordana Abraham. She's one of the creators of Betches, which everyone knows and loves. Mm-hmm. To me, there's nowhere that you're going to have a more realistic dating conversation. It is a place where uncomfortable subjects are had in a comfortable place. Like, we have uncomfortable conversations in a very comfortable setting. So like, my whole life I grew up with a lot of women friends, and they would always come to me for, what does this guy mean? What does this text mean? And then some of them, the worst ones would be like,
be honest.
I would be honest. And again, I try to be palatable. I try to make this thing an icky subject, less icky. But they'll go, well, that's just you. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm the only one with a penis. Yeah, I'm the only one with a fuck. Yeah, it's just me. I'm the only disgusting animal. Everyone else is just the same. Like, it just gets so fucking... Yeah, I'm the problem. Okay. What I always say is I'm 10% away from every guy you're dating. I'm within 10%. I'm not 100% the same. Yeah. I'm also not 100% away.
Right.
So I'm your brother. I'm the guy who dated, the one who dumped you, the one you dumped, your cousin, all that type of stuff. I'm there to like be, to tell you why it's raining and why you better bring an umbrella. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to go boo to the rain.
Right.
These men, I'm not going to do that.
Which I think is why you probably have, like, how long have you had this podcast?
The U Up podcast has been around for like 5 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's been fun. I like talking about these things.
Yeah.
Like this has been fun. This is great. I'm super happy I came out to the burbs and.
You don't. I hope you don't see Rosemary on your way out.
Rosemary. Frederick, the Jew, is outside again. Yeah, it just feels very.
Don't put it out with your boots, Ted.
It is. No, this is a beautiful neighborhood. It's very cool. I do thank you for having me. I think it says a lot about you to be like, this guy's a piece of shit.
No!
But let's have fun with him. And I think that's kind of that says a lot about you. I do believe that. And again, Lucy was like, she literally was like, she's fucking awesome. I like her a lot. And I go, okay.
And I love Lucy.
I got it in.
I did the thing with the line. That's so nice.
Yeah.
No, I feel like I totally understand. I do it. I watch the show and I make fun of people.
Of
and
course.
then I'm like, hey, you want to come on my podcast?
Well, Zach Shallcross. I made fun of that guy.
Did you really?
I mean, who didn't?
Oh, yeah. Him and Clayton got it pretty bad.
Clayton and him got it bad. Clayton, by the end of it, he didn't. They both themselves over in ways that were like, but very relatable. When I talked about that, the way they up, I knew exactly. And I asked Zach if he made this whole sex pledge because of what he saw with Clayton, and he was like, yeah. And I was like, I knew it. There was no, and Zach couldn't have been nicer. He's
so sweet.
He is like, and you go, I get why everyone makes fun of him. He's this tall white dude. Again, the internet allows it.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a lot of personality as far as on screen.
Right.
But he came on the show. He was total mensch, good guy.
Yeah.
And Katie.
Canadian.
Another Katie. She's like, and again, you go in the same way Serena, in the same way you go, I get why she won.
Yeah.
I get why she stood out. Like, she's a total, like, catch, and... So it's funny when you get in person with someone, you realize
it changes everything.
Changes everything.
It changes everything. Even if you follow them religiously on social media, you still are not getting the full picture. Even if they're like posting every morning, afternoon, and night, you're still not getting it.
Totally. I mean, Braden and I are doing an earring making class and then going for yoga.
Tell him I say hi.
So I'll let you know if he's cool too.
I have a pair of earrings I actually want to give him of mine.
You got to.
I know.
That's a video you should make.
Okay.
Something with Braden. He's a fun thing to make fun of. Yeah.
Okay, tell me your confession now.
I'll give one that Bachelor fans will like.
Okay.
I actually thought about this, and I talked about it on a live show, but it wasn't on tape.
Okay.
And I'm a little embarrassed about it.
I love this. That's the kind
and
of
again, I take my own advice.
Yeah.
So I kind of flirted with Ariel from
New York one.
Zach's,
yeah, of course.
Ariel, and then she took Ariel's. So I was like making fun of Ariel, but the joke about her for me was like that she had a Jewish family and she was going to bring home Zach, who'd never met a Jew in his life. And being Jewish myself, like now I get to do like summer camp jokes. I get to do like stuff about Passover. I can really go like niche.
Yeah.
And people, people who are Jewish that followed me were like loving it. So like. Over the course of the episode, I'm making fun of this girl, but also like she's this like Jewish chick living in New York.
Yeah.
She's and she's hot as shit.
She's hot, yeah.
And she had like sent me messages, like laughing. I'm sure people were forwarding her my stuff all the time.
Yeah.
We don't follow each other, but I was getting DMs from her.
Yeah.
So I sent her a DM, asking her out. Never. Well,
did she see it and not respond?
No scene.
Okay, fair.
But I think she might. I mean, at this point, she has figured out a way around seeing it.
Can you see like is the first line?
I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah. This is a great confession.
This is a good. I figured. I was like, really of all the confessions, because I'm a little embarrassed. Like, you put yourself out there, you make yourself vulnerable. And again, when people DM me, I get DMs asking for dates. I'm not, I'm not. I'm not saying I'm the, the washed up bachelor. I'm not doing this game. So
it's not your game to play.
Right. I'm not doing
You're
the
the
Bristowe.
coach, I'm the player.
Right. Yeah. So, but like even I tagged her. So I went. Zach and Katie came to my show in Austin.
Yeah.
So we took a picture. So she saw that, and I put in the picture, "Thank you, Zach and Katie, for coming tonight. Couldn't have been nicer and more fun. Let me know if A. Frankel, I tagged her, needs a date for the wedding."
Right.
Saw that, no like. So I was like, that's a bad sign. In the past, she has responded to things like, I put up this one, like when she dumped him or when she got dumped. This is a video of people doing the horror. And I wrote...
Ariel's family celebrating that there's still a chance she might marry a Jewish guy, and they're like, da, da,
yeah, they're doing
da,
that.
Da, 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 da.
Right.
Yeah.
So I put that up. And then... So she laughed at that. She wrote back, "This is spot on."
Yeah.
So
okay.
she likes my humor, so to speak. So I was like, I'll take a shot.
Why not?
And this was encouragement from. What's that?
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Well, this was encouragement from again, I was finding that on the dating apps I wasn't excited.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I need to pursue.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't pursue because I'm so afraid of being turned down. And maybe I'm not getting excited about dating apps because, again, dating apps promote laziness. Men are generally lazier than just women, and there's a reason that men act the way they do on dating apps. It serves all our kind of worst things.
Yes.
So I was like, so Jordana was like, maybe you need to message this person and see what, and I see, get excited about taking a chance.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time, how do I DM slide a guy?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you have to show some vulnerability, and then also I think with guys, we love vague options in dating. Men love vague options. They love
so true.
having the ability to. That's why you're texting with a guy for months and months, never makes a plan. Just likes the option for when it's convenient for him.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna DM slide a guy, my advice, and no one ever listens to my advice for this, they always do the thing that hurts them the least.
Yeah.
As I am a person who would do that as well.
Yeah.
They always go, what they should do is, hey, I think just saw your profile. You seem like you're a lot of fun. I'd love to get a drink sometime. Here's my number. Make a plan, and I'm down.
Oh.
So when you give your number, say make a plan, and I'm down, it's now you've taken a vague thing and made it A or B. Make a plan, and I'm down. So now you get to be turned off. If they go, well, where are you from? Guess what they didn't do? And also, they didn't make a plan.
They didn't listen.
You're out.
Yeah.
Also, your profile has to be public of certain kind because you have to give them the ability to see you as much as you've seen them.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Fair playing field.
I do understand why people don't make their things public. That's okay too, but you have to understand maybe the DM slide isn't for you.
Right.
And you're getting into a situation where you could hurt your feelings. Your feelings might get hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Guy follows you, looks you over, doesn't answer, unfollow. Right. That's something I wouldn't even. That would hurt me.
Yeah.
So I wrote, hey. So I had already said I'll be your date to the wedding.
Yeah.
No response. But a scene.
But then,
see the scene?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Hey, I totally understand not answering my +1 offer. You need to vet someone before an event like that in regards to their wedding.
Yeah.
See how they'd handle the pass around app situation. I'd love to get a drink if you're around town. Totally understand if you've got other things going on, but I would be upset with myself if I didn't put myself out there and ask.
Nice.
I think that's a nice.
I think she would. I'm surprised she didn't just put a question mark.
You? You and me? That would be the response.
Yeah.
I understand not answering. Look, you got other shit going on. I guess I was thinking of we were trying to think of what the level, what would you want? How do you want to be turned down is really what it is. The not seen thing, maybe she's saying, I'm going on Paradise and I don't want to.
Oh, she's 1,000% going on Paradise.
Right. The most positive way to look at it, the most negative way to look at it.
Yes.
Most positive, I'm not going to look at it. I'll put it in my not read so that I can get to it if I want that option after.
Yeah.
That's the most positive
way. That's what I think
way
it was,
to
and I'm not just saying that.
Okay. Here's the most
negative.
negative. Who's this chubby loser? No way. I'm going to leave this in unread forever. Deleted the whole conversation. I actually moved it to unread, then deleted, so it won't even show up that I've read it.
And usually the negative is never, that's usually just us lying to ourselves about what that option probably is.
The answer is always in the middle.
Yeah.
It's never I got to wait until,
I'm waiting for the perfect timing for the universe to put us together and I'll come back to this. It's not that.
Right,
it's
not
not
that.
that loser.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's probably I'm going on Paradise. I'm
Yeah.
young and hot. I'm going to go, see what's going on there.
Yeah. And then in 5 years, she'll be like,
Hey,
back to that DM.
hey,
How am I just seeing this?
hey. So I heard you don't do comedy anymore. You're an accountant now.
I like a safe bet.
Right. You had a good run, I guess. You got canceled when you went on Kaitlyn Bristow's podcast.
That's why I brought you here today.
Right.
To try and
The
get you
put on your
canceled.
Yeezys. The Jewish community came after you, weirdly.
Oh my God. Thank you
Is it a good
so
reveal?
much. Yes.
Okay. So, well, listen. Listen, also, redemption, just like coming on here and getting to know you.
We love a redemption moment.
If Ariel says, I'm just seeing this, I'll allow that lie.
Okay. It's a cute lie.
It's a cute lie.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Oh my
2
God.
months later.
What?
But
She's,
but maybe I've met someone else at that point. You never know.
she's probably filming right now. Maybe that's why she didn't see it.
She saw the message. You kidding me? I'm not an idiot.
When did you send that?
It was June. What is it? About a month ago.
She might have been filming.
Maybe.
Maybe you'll hear from her tonight.
I'm sure none of your listeners are the type to go and DM her. They were talking about you on this podcast.
Well, not
Right?
in a bad way. Not in a bad way.
I know the audience here. It's the same one I have. The busybodies.
Oh, hi, Pino. Where did you come from?
Pino's like,
Pino's like,
this
that's
podcast
enough.
has gone enough.
That's
Yeah.
enough. Hello, Tweety. Okay. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. This was such a blast. I'm so
glad
happy to come on. You got to come on You Up and chit chat
will.
with us. And
I will. I go to New York all the time.
You Up podcast every Wednesday and Sunday. Jared Freid on Instagram. If you want to hear me yell at The Bachelor, like
I do.
I'm on, all the former
Hey, you
episodes
got
are
to
in my
be
highlights.
following me because I
I'll
want to
follow
hear
you.
you yell at.
You gonna come to the show
Bachelorette.
this weekend?
Well, now that you invited me, thank you. I was waiting for that.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. Your session is now ending. And if I'm being honest, I wouldn't mind a rating and review.